This video is meant to walk you through the steps of accessing the different assistive reading technologies we have here at the Hawkins Center and that our student athletes can utilize. We're going to walk you through two. One is called Kurzweil 3000 and the other is called Bookshare. Both of these are available to all of our student athletes to utilize, and tutors are also welcome to have Kurzweil accounts also. Kurzweil is an assistive reading technology system, and it actually guides students through the reading process, so it features things like text-to-speech, dictionary, notes, highlighting, study guides, graphic organizers, translations, and so on. Readings can either be uploaded to Kurzweil from your computer or from a web browser, and then you can also access readings through the program called Bookshare that I'll explain in just a couple of minutes. In order to get a Kurzweil account, you need to get one set up for you by a Hawkins Center Learning Specialist. It's free and it's super simple and it takes very little time to complete. So once that's set up, you can navigate to the Kurzweil page, the login page, and use the account information provided to you by a Hawkins Center Learning Specialist. If you don't have the exact URL for the login page, you can always use your web browser and just search for Kurzweil and find the login to Kurzweil link and click on that. So here's where you would enter the information that a Hawkins Center Learning Specialist provided for you in terms of your username and your password. And then it will open your Kurzweil account. Now if you're returning to an account, previous readings that you've either uploaded or utilized through Kurzweil may show up here in your personal files. Otherwise, if it's your first time, you'll see some options for how to open different readings. So you can use Google Drive, you can use Bookshare like I mentioned before, and you can also look at files that are on your computer or upload files. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is how to access readings that are already located on your computer. So I'm going to access an article that I've already saved to my desktop. And so I'm going to locate the article, and the program does take a couple seconds to load the readings. It does take it some time, but shortly it will open our file and we will be able to see the document that we would like to read. There is a toolbar located at the top of the Kurzweil web browser that has lots of different features that you and the student can utilize. One of the first I'll draw your attention to is the audio options, and so you can choose, if you are going to be having the text read aloud to you, you can choose the voice, whether it's male or female, and then the accent and language that it uses. You can also choose to speed up or slow down the voice, and then the units that you would like to have read to you, and whether you would like it continuous or to stop after each section. You can also choose to add bookmarks to the page. This allows you to play or fast forward or rewind the reading, what's being read aloud to you. You can also choose, though, to mute the voice and the reading if you would like to just navigate through the reading on your own without having it spoken aloud to you. And then these tools over here allow us to annotate and mark up the document. So things like highlighting, adding sticky notes, changing the view of the document, making it larger or smaller or fitting to the width of the screen, rotating the page. We can add sticky notes, we can do the dictionary, and there are other tools in terms of extracting notes and printing pages that I'll show you. So let's start off by having this reading spoken aloud to us so that we can follow along.
Athletic subculture within student athlete academic centers. Lisa and Ruben and Ron A. Moses, Kansas State University. Over 400.
So say that the voice is not something that sounds very appealing to you and you'd like to perhaps change it to a female voice and maybe make it a tad faster just so you can get through the material a little bit quicker. We can change those options and press play again.
Athletic subculture within student athlete academic centers. Lisa M. Rubin and Ron A. Moses, Kansas State University. Over 400,000 student athletes participate in NCAA intercollegiate athletics programs.
And so you can always pause and play throughout the playing of the reading, the recording, and you can choose different points where you would like the reading to start. Just move your cursor and click on the section or the word that you want the reading to start at. Don't forget to utilize the different tools that are available, including highlighting and adding sticky notes. And an interesting feature is that you can actually export your notes, and Kurzweil will create a study guide for you. So just click OK to extract your notes. And obviously this is more useful the more notes and the more highlighting you've done on an article or a reading. But it'll compile for you a document that you can save or you can print. So again, it's extracted what we've highlighted and also the notes that we've annotated on the article. So we have the option here to save, which will save it to our Kurzweil account. So each time we log in, we can utilize that and see that. And then we could also print this page if we were interested in doing that. I will navigate back to the reading and show you how to use the dictionary feature. And so wherever you have the cursor before you search for the dictionary is the word that it will define for you. And so this is a useful tool, especially for dense readings or scientific readings. So those are the main components of using Kurzweil with a reading or a document that's already located on your computer. I'm now going to show you how to access a book that you don't own or don't have a copy of, and that's when Bookshare comes into play. And so Bookshare is an online library, and they have over 600,000 accessible books for students with learning disabilities. So if you need a book for a course or to study, make sure that you get a Bookshare account set up by a Hawkins Center Learning Specialist. This is important for student athletes. And then once the account is set up, make sure you also let the Hawkins Center Learning Specialist know which book you would like to access. The Learning Specialist has to add the book to your personal reading list under your account before you'll be able to go on and access it. Bookshare also has to be accessed through Kurzweil, so it's really important to make sure you have both a Bookshare account and a Kurzweil account, and again that you've told your Hawkins Center Learning Specialist ahead of time which book you want to access through Bookshare so they can get that accessible for you. So I'm back on my main Kurzweil page. If I'm a student, this is what it will look like. I'm still logged in, and instead of choosing computer, I'm going to click on the Bookshare link. So you are going to search for whatever book you're interested and that you've told your Hawkins Center Learning Specialist you want to access. You can search by author or by ISBN, but I'm going to search by title. It is important to make sure your spelling's correct, to make sure you get the right search results. I know that the version of the book that I would like is the one written by Sophocles, so I'm going to click on that. You can choose to load the version that does have images or does not. It's completely up to you. And at this point, you're going to be prompted to log in using your Bookshare account. And if you don't know your account information, then a Hawkins Center Learning Specialist can complete it for you, reset it for you, or inform you what that is. I apologize for the technical difficulties. There we go. Now, if the title that you wanted was not put on your reading list ahead of time, this would not be loading. You would get an error message that says that you don't have access to those files. But this book is on our reading list, and so we have access to it. I'm going to go ahead and skip to a page that I know has content on it when the story is starting. And just like if I were to have uploaded a reading from my computer, from a file that was saved to my computer, I can utilize the same tools, starting and stopping, changing the voice that's read aloud, adding notes, defining, exporting notes, printing a page that has notes on it. You can print certain pages of the text if you have added sticky notes to it, or highlights if you want to print a certain page that you've annotated a lot. You are able to do that, but otherwise the features are the same as I showed you earlier with the previous document. So Bookshare and Kurzweil are really useful tools, and we're lucky to have access to them here at the University of Florida and the Hawkins Center. If you have any further questions of how to utilize these things, please feel free to reach out to a learning specialist, and we will make sure that you and the student athlete that you work with are able to use these resources to their full potential.